What's up, y'all? Shaman Shank back at you with another one. And as you know, in the last video, I reviewed the Buck 112 Slim Heritage Elite. And as promised, today I'm going to review the new OG of the future. Its bigger brother, of course. And without further ado, here she is, fellas. We got the Buck 110 Slim Elite Heritage. Ain't she a looker? And oh my gosh, you're on the Ozempic too, 110? What? Everybody's doing it, guys. Everybody's doing it, and it's working, it looks like. I don't see anything to complain about. But yes, oh yes, guys, here she is. There's been plenty of reviews about this knife out and about. I wanted to get on here sooner, but I felt compelled with that 112. It just really touched me to, with my history with the 112, to review it first, and I just want to get it right out the gate. But guys, don't get it twisted. The Slim 110 is beautiful, guys. And of course, the basic stats of a 110 without the weight. Of course, we got the 8.6 inches tried and true, a lengthy handle. If you've held a 110, I would say you've held this knife, but really you haven't, guys, because I mean that slimming it up, man, it really does take away a lot of that bulk in the hand and the pocket, which of course this thing was held to that prison called the sheath, as I was talking about in the 112 video. But no more, baby. We got the pocket clip, and this thing rides amazing in the pocket. Depending upon what you have in your pocket, you definitely still know it's there. But I mean, like I said, it's day and night with that slim profile. It's definitely doable, even though it is a good bit longer than the 112, opened and shut. But, mainly we're talking about shut if it's in your pocket. Of course, I hope so. That'd be a bad day indeed. But we got a weight coming in at 4.8 ounces, and that's a heck of a lot less than, of course, the 7.5 ounces we're talking with the OG 110. Buck really knocked it out the park with these, guys. The 110, the 112, these are an excellent addition to the Buck catalog. I'm so glad they brought it back. And, of course, we got the Magna Cut blade coming in. 420 HC, Buck does amazing with it, but, it is what it is, guys. Magna Cut is that top tier now. Magna Cut has taken the reins as that premier still, and I'm not mad at it because I love Magna Cut. It is a great steel to use, to sharpen, and it's been very dependable for me on my Emersons, without a doubt. I love it when, I carry, the knife I carry now, of course, is my, the A100 Tanto, and that comes in Magna Cut. And yeah, about the same size there. But yeah, this is I carry this mug like every day. I love it. But yeah, back to the main event, guys. Got a little sidetrack there. But this knife is absolutely great. Of course, we got the brass and the wood back. I haven't really carried this one that much since I got it. That 112 has been in the pocket, of course, when the A100 Tanto isn't riding with me. But yeah, it is great and definitely deserves pocket time, and it will get pocket time. And as you may notice, I have not put the thumb stud. Well, I did put the quick disc on here, the quick stud, whatever they call it, on here. But I ended up taking that off to put on a Emerson, my Emerson Sheepdog, which in a way past video I talked about. I broke off the screw going down too tight on the thumb disc, and I just popped it on there to kind of, because that is a really great work knife for me out in the yard and stuff like that, and I just wanted to utilize it. So I took it off of this, since I mainly do carry the 112. But man, let me tell you, I think I mentioned this in the 112 video, this knife just kind of slows you down. Of course, with the way of the world and, just flipping things out real quick and then, closing them with one hand, like that. And it makes things a lot easier. But this knife is not that. This knife is not trying to be that. This knife, Buck was not trying to make this knife anything other than what it was, other than more pocket acceptable. And of course, user friendly, with, daily friendly, not user friendly, but I mean, you still, there's nothing wrong with just opening that knife with two hands. Some people may see it as a disadvantage, but I mean, I think, people who grew up with this knife, people who have been around this knife before, thumb studs or disc were even a thing, it wasn't a problem. I think the market, is kind of leaned more toward like, tactical and, you know, the way of the world. The faster, the better. The faster, the better. And this knife, like I said, with the 112, just slows you down in a good way, not in a bad way to hinder you. This is not a tactical knife. This is an everyday carry to do whatever you need it to do, whatever that may be. And don't get me wrong, guys, this knife can definitely be used as self-defense, just like any knife. But let me tell you something. I do not want somebody coming at me with a buck 110. I don't want nobody coming at me with a butter knife. But I sure as hell do not want this knife being used or coming at me in any way, shape, or fashion. This blade is hair-splitting sharp, just like the 420HC on all my bucks. Every buck out of the box I've ever bought has been just shaved, every hair on your daggum leg sharp. It's scaringly sharp. Yeah, like I talked about in the 112 video, I did nip my finger a little bit. And touching base on this one, in case you haven't seen that video, you know, it does take some time to kind of get used to this profile, especially with that, you know, that drop shut right there. You know, you're used to a little bit more real estate around there, so don't let that bad boy show on your finger, because it did nip the tip of mine. And yeah, it could have been a lot worse, so I'm not mad at it. But yeah, but this knife is absolutely amazing. And I've got to break out the OG to compare with this. And this will let you know how long I've been waiting for the buck 110 in general to have a pocket clip. Look at that nasty, ugly ass clip that I put on there a while back. And this knife was hanging out in my fishing bag. And I just, you know, I wanted something instead of just like falling down in there and me losing it. I just got this clip off Amazon. There's been a couple of videos about guys putting it on there, and some guys use it, some guys love it. And I also think I put that thing down a little bit too far down on it, because I mean, like I said, I didn't plan on carrying this in my pocket, but this clip does work very well. You can just type in, you know, adhesive pocket clip on Amazon if you are interested in that. But I don't know, but it's a lot cheaper option than this, but it looks a heck of a lot better right here, right? But yeah, this is, without that monstrosity on there, the OG buck 110. And of course, you know, you got that good thick handle on there, good, you know, purchase in your hand. Absolutely great. But you know, this is the future, baby. This is and I know I touched base on the one with the 112 video on this as well, but this knife is I'm really glad to see this knife carrying on that legacy of what, you know, a pocket knife should be, you know. And you know, a pocket knife can be many things, can have many different, what am I trying to say here? Different attributes or necessities that, you know, people think I have to have this on, I have to have that on it. This is the prototype, if you ask me, for what a pocket knife should be. A good, old, dependable pocket knife. And I tell you what, it screams, whew, from the ghost of the past. It just is in your face, beautiful and elegant, and just a great, elegant everyday user. I love it. I absolutely love it. And also, you know, I got to break out all the 110s, baby. This is the Alaskan God 110. They don't sell this anymore. You could get it exclusively through Cabela's. I think Buck did a little run of it to get rid of excess stock, and those did not have the Alaskan God stamp on it, and they sold them on the website. Now they're gone. I think they're gone forever, if you ask, from what I see, but who knows what Buck is going to do. But yeah, just to compare that, you know, wow. Ozempic, guys. Ozempic is working wonders. And but they're both beautiful. You know, I love my thicky thicks too, baby. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. But you know, nothing like a good old slender everyday thing. And like I said, the thing that changes this knife the most is that pocket clip. To be honest with you, if Buck would have slapped this same exact clip on the OG 110, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'd probably still carry it and I would still buy it. I really wish that they would do like a buck of the month and, you know, make like a Magna Cut kind of prettied up 110 with the this clip on it, you know, done right. I think that would sell like hotcakes. I know it would sell like hotcakes because I would be buying one of them hotcakes. But yeah. And of course, you know, when Buck did a rendition a while back, it's been on the market for a minute, the Buck 110 Sport. This is an absolute classic too. You still have that thickness in the grip without, you know, these are they're the same knife, but they are two different knives. They really are. They have a different feel. I feel so different. It just makes me feel different when I carry this knife than this knife. This knife is like just a classic, elegant, everyday carrier. This knife right here is just like, you know, a great, same thing, but it just has a different feel. The weight, the micarta on it, and of course, you know, they threw the thumb stud on there for you as well. And like I said, again, not to sound like a broken record, but you know, they could have done that on this one, but I understand why they didn't, and I'm not mad at it. And I'll talk about why they didn't do it in just a little bit, which, you know, of course, I'm sure a lot of you Buck fans already know about. But yeah, the 110 Sport's a great option as well. They just they stir up different emotions in you. They really do. And this is more, you know, just for us good old boys that love this design, love this feel, and it's still very dependable. And so is this. You know, it is great. But touching base on that, the one thing good about the 110 Sport is, you know, you can get it centered too, of course, with that Torx pivot right there, and you can take it completely apart. As for this, you can't. However this bad boy comes in the box is how she comes. And of course, you can make some tweaks, and I want to touch base on that real quick, guys. I made mention in the 112 video about how I didn't buy this knife from Buck. I bought this knife before the 112, but I got this knife from I think it was Wiley Knives, W-I-L-E-Y Knives. Great company. Have nothing bad to say about them. They had nothing to do with what I experienced with this knife. And I'm not talking bad about the 110 Slim Heritage Elite at all with this. But I will say this. When I got this knife, it had a bad rattle, guys. If you held this knife like this and went like that, it was like you could hear it rattling. And there was crazy blade play. And I mean, that is kind of expected in some of these, you know, pin construction folders. But I mean, I will say on the, you know, the Alaskan Guide, that blade right there ain't as stiff as nails. That ain't going nowhere. No blade play when opened or closed. No rattle. This knife has not been tinkered with. And the Walmart 110, absolutely a little bit of blade play in there, just a little bit of a wiggle, but absolutely no rattle whatsoever. And of course, in the Sport, you have no rattle at all because that could be fixed with just a simple Torx wrench. But this right here came with a rattle. Excuse me. And the blade play in it was a little bit substantial in it as well. And it really, I think maybe because I've been carrying an Emerson for so long, it just kind of really teed me off. I was like, man, a $200 knife, Buck, you got to make sure this thing is tight and right. And I've seen a lot of reviews, of course, on YouTube with this knife, and people say that they think the custom shop is making them because they're so pristine. And don't get me wrong, guys, this knife is pristine. This knife, the fit, the finish, there's no gaps, anything like that. But mine did come with a rattle. And I reached out to Wiley Knives about it, and I said, hey, you know, guys, you may want to reach out to Buck and let them know that this thing's got a rattle. And they said, okay, you can send it back to us if you want. Whatever you want to do, let us know. They were completely an open book with it. And knowing me, I hate sending stuff back. I just rolled with it. And I watched a couple of videos. Dagnabbit, I forgot his name again. I really got to start writing this stuff down so I can get people shout outs. But this guy did a phenomenal video, and I've never had to do this with any of my Buck knives, by the way. But pinning the pivot pin right there. It's not recommended. I wouldn't recommend it unless, you know, because it can go wrong. You can go wrong by doing that, but there's plenty of videos on there. I wish I knew this, I wish I remembered this guy's video to do it on. But as you hear, there is no more rattle in that. And all I did was take a piece of cloth, put over that pivot right there, and I just, also it's a bit off-centered too as well because it was moving around, and I just saw the side that it was on and the side that the blade is leaning toward. All you do is like put the cloth over it, set it down on a real sturdy surface. I did mine on a like an iron plate as well, just to keep it real sturdy, no movement whatsoever. And I got a ball peen hammer, and I just ticked it right there numerous times very softly, and I checked it with every hit because I didn't want to, you know, do any damage. But it took care of that rattle. I'm really glad it did. But just know, if you do that, there is a chance that that you may end up, you know, bending that frame right there, kind of making the knife more hard to open. But as you see, this knife opens pristine. If I have a, you know, the quick stud on there, it's smooth as butter. But it did eliminate the rattle. There still is a little bit of blade play, but I mean, that's completely fine. I'm expecting that, especially with a pin shut knife. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, that rattle just really teed me off with a $200 knife. If it was like the Walmart, you know, but now those are 90 bucks. But even with that, I'd be like, all right, get out of a clamshell. It may have a little rattle, but you know, if you're charging a premium price for a premium product, it's got to come out premium if you ask me. But great knife. Don't let that deter you from checking out the Slim Heritage line with the 112 or the 110. Absolutely beautiful. And I got to break out, of course, little brother that I just reviewed that has the quick stud on it, you know, side by side with the Slim Daddy. As you see, that, you know, just as anybody who knows the 110 and the 112, the size is pretty substantially different. Yeah, but I will say this, I love both of these knives, but the 112 for me, and this is weird coming from me because I love, you know, larger EDCs, and you just saw my A100 Tonto, and it's the same length as this, but it's just a different character of knife, guys. But whatever, we're talking about these babies, not no Tanto or Tonto, whatever. I'm not, this show belongs to the Slim Elite Heritage. But yeah, these knives are great. They both feel great. I do love the way the 112 though is just a, with this aesthetic, with my history with the 112, I really do appreciate this knife and will probably carry it a lot more than I will the 110, but I will carry the 110. But guys, let me tell you something. When you're, like I said, a psycho like me and you got so many knives as me, you're like, hell, I wake up not knowing what knife I'm going to see or grab or do anything like that. Man, it's a problem. It really is a problem. I really probably need to thin the herd. I don't know, guys. I don't know, but we'll see. But whatever. But this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, whenever you get this knife, expect, if there is any, a little bit of blade play. If you're familiar with the 110, as you see, I showed you the OG. It had a little bit of blade play as well. These pen knives are not sitting there tinkering with it, getting it all finely tuned. It's a, you know, there's a lot of hand crafting within this knife, but I mean, these pins are stamped in there and they're shipped out. But you know, that rattle was that was a bit much. I really wish that I would have made the video when I had that rattle, but to be honest with you, I was so mad about it. I said, man, if I get on there and make a video right now about this knife, I am going to be very negative. And I'm glad I waited, because once I got rid of that rattle, I'm good with it. This knife is an absolute beaut. It's an heirloom knife. I mean, this knife can be passed down through the generations, just as, you know, the OG 110. And like I said, it's really, really special that 20, 30 years from now, you'll see some younger fellas coming up and they'll be pulling out, you know, their Buck 110 Slim Heritage Elite and say, hey, my granddaddy gave me this, or my dad gave me this. And I think that's really cool, because this design carries on since it's been freed from the prison. It has posted bail, it's out on the streets, and it's back, and man, oh man, it's been hitting the gym. Well, no, this is Ozempic, baby. That ain't no gym work. They definitely have dropped down its fat content, no doubt about it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. But also touching base on why Buck did not put the thumb stud on this knife, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know what I'm going to say about this, but Buck made an announcement, and I kind of caught on to this because they did an interview with the dude with the mustache. I forgot his name. I don't know anybody's name. Shit, what's my name? Oh, Shaman the Shank, whatever. But yeah, they did an interview with him, and they were, you know, talking about the thumb stud not being on it. And he said, yeah, he said, we figured out with the, you know, with the lock back that a thumb stud would work better with a crossbar. And that's all he said. And I was like, crossbar? I'm like, crossbar and a 110? I'm like, what are you even talking about? That doesn't even exist. But what do you know? Buck comes out right after dropping these bad boys, and after we go and spend our paycheck on, you know, these two fellas, they're like, oh, by the way, here in September, we're dropping the Buck 110 and 112 in crossbar. Buck, please, you're killing me. You're going to get me killed. But yeah, that is going to be something, and you can best believe your boy is going to get one. I will probably go for the 110 first with the crossbar, and man, it comes with the thumb stud. It essentially looks kind of like a Sport, except the micarta is now it's a wood. I saw it called like not Madagascar, but some other type of name of wood, but it's a darker mahogany looking wood instead of that micarta. It looks like the profile is a bit more thinner, but of course you've got the a crossbar lock on that. It kind of reminds me of the Axis lock from Benchmade. And I'll tell you what, it's going to give the Crooked River a run for its money. It's going to definitely be a hot contender. But yeah, you got that crossbar on there. Look up videos of that. It's already, you know, at Blade Show, they had some samples out there to go over and show. But it's going to be something. It's going to be wild to be able to finally flick out. Look at that. It's gonna be wild to flick out a buck 110 and a 112 just like that, and a one-handed shut. It's going to be an absolute game changer. The same as these are a game changer, but these are kind of keeping the game. They're keeping the game the same. Like I said, it's just making this knife more appealing to everyone, if you ask me. I know there's some old timers out there saying, man, I'm putting that damn thing in the sheath. And that's completely fine. If that works for you, do it, love it, carry it. But in everyday life, we need that pocket clip. We need a little bit thinner profile. We need less weight. And I really, you know, that's the way it is, guys. That's the way of the world, and that's just the reality of it. But, you know, whatever knife you like, if you like the 110 OG, go buy the 110 OG. If you like this, go get it. If you like the Sport, go get it. They're all great knives, and they all fit their purpose and all suit the needs, and all have kind of the same need, but they all just really stir up a different emotion in you. They really do, but I cannot wait for that crossbar. That is going to be something else. I've always dreamed of being able to just flick out a 110 or 112 and with one-handed shut, and it looks so good too. It just looks amazing. But definitely look that out, check it out. But check this out. This is, like I said, an heirloom piece, an heirloom quality knife, and I don't doubt, I mean, the Sport is an heirloom quality. The OG is an heirloom quality. All of them are. These are quality, great knives, and Buck has a great customer service on these knives. But yeah. And of course, if you are having the same issue that I had with a rattle, definitely do your due diligence and check out videos. And if you feel comfortable doing it, do it. But just know to yourself that yeah, it can go south for you. It can. Just take your time and don't rush it. Just calm yourself down and take it one hit at a time. Because I actually did the same thing. As a matter of fact, this actually may still have the rattle. Wait, listen. You hear that? Kinda. Not too bad, because I peened this bad boy as well. After I had success with the 110, I was like, damn, this thing's got a kind of a rattle in it too. And I went out there and did the same thing, and I really was scared that I messed it up, because it was kind of grindy whenever I opened it. Like I could hear like the blade kind of hitting that front bolster right there. But after working it out, putting a little bit of oil in it, and then tinkering with it, it's absolutely perfect. It's still got a little bit of, but I ain't worried about it, guys. I'm a psycho. Give me a break, okay? But yeah, just be careful. I don't want you guys to do that and mess it up and say, damn it, Shaman Shank, you made me mess up my $200 knife. And guys, it's not me, okay? I'm just the messenger here. But the Buck 110 Slim Heritage Elite, it is absolutely amazing. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I'm not quite sure if they're in stock on the website. I think they are. They sold out for a while, but it keeps updating, and they keep putting them back. But whether you want to do it with two hands, or you want to pop that quick stud on there, which you can get off Amazon, or just Google quick stud for 110 or 112, which they both fit the same knife. There's no difference in size of that. You definitely can do that, but it is phenomenal. This knife will go the long haul, just as the OG has since the early 60s. Absolutely phenomenal. This knife is going to be around for another 100 years, and people can be buying it for another 100 years. And that is really, really cool, because everything is changing and fast paced right now. And you got all these new designs, new materials coming out. And I really am glad that this is preserved, to really see tomorrow, to see, the new generation. It really is special. But guys, I just want to get on here and touch base with this. And I guess I'll be back on here whenever that crossbar drops, because I really haven't seen anything that's really tickled my fancy lately. But the Buck 110 Slim Heritage, definitely check it out, especially, if this knife appeals to you. And, I guarantee you're going to love it. Even if you've never even held a 110 before, definitely check it out. I know that's a lot of money to drop on a knife you never held before, but I've pulled the trigger on some knives that were very unique to me before. If you're a younger person and never really held one, but if you're a knife guy, you probably have. But just go ahead and get on it, guys. It really is cool. The 110, of course, which this video is attributed to, and of course you got that little fella right here, but she's mighty. She's a great, classy little carry. Great. But guys, that's about it. I just want to share it with you, get on here, talk about it, talk about my wins and woes with it. But it's been a winner. This knife was a winner. Don't let my little story about peening it throw you off, because if you do feel a little sideways about it, you can always send it back to Buck, and hopefully they should be able to fix that. Yeah, the Buck 110 Slim Heritage Elite. Get out there, smell that mountain air, pull that bad boy out, one hand or two hand, it don't even matter, baby. It don't even matter. We're having a good day today. And just like this Buck 110 Slim Heritage Elite, she's super, super sharp, baby. Be careful. But also, while you're being careful with this beaut of a blade, stay sharp.